Boundaries around narcissistic people, how to handle narcissistic people if you cannot go no contact, and also how to avoid getting too close to narcissistic people in your future. And one way to do this is by creating your boundaries. The thing with boundaries is many of us don't realise what they are, and a narcissist is very manipulative in making us think that our boundaries are the problem rather than the narcissist is the problem. And what I mean by this is the narcissist is the problem because they're not accepting of our boundaries. They're not willing to accept us for who we are as a person. They don't want to care for us for who we are as a person. They want to take us down to suit themselves. So this video is going to explain more about boundaries around narcissistic people. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about the narcissist personality disorder to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with in your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you overcome narcissistic abuse. If you do find information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. With many narcissistic people, they seem to fail to understand the word stop, or they fail to understand the word no. They fail to understand where you're coming from. Instead, it almost seems to give them a challenge to take things further. They see a no as game on. Around narcissistic people, you often spend the entire relationship saying no, drawing a line in that sand, and they come at you and step over that line, and you say no, and they come at you and step over that line, and you say no, and you find yourself going further back as they take more and more control. However, most often they don't do this in obvious ways. They use subtle, covert, manipulative methods. They guilt trip you into taking down your boundaries. They triangulate you by saying, oh, my ex would have done that for me, and they're claiming their ex is such a terrible person, yet their ex would have done something that you're not willing to do. They claim that they were only joking after humiliating you, so you think your reactions to their actions were the problem, when it's their actions that are the problem. They just want to take down whatever boundary it is within you. They make you feel like your opinions are in the wrong, like your emotions are in the wrong, like who you are as a person is wrong. They get you to second guess yourself. They get you to doubt yourself while claiming that they want what's best for you, which is what is so confusing. A narcissist doesn't treat you badly all the time, and as they can idolize you, as they can future fake with you, as they can love bomb you, as they can spoil you, as they can treat you better than anyone ever has, and as you can feel like they understand you better than anyone ever has, it's very confusing when they're telling you that you're being too sensitive, you're overreacting. As you look to them, you value their opinion, not realizing that they are saying these things to take you down so that they can coercively control who you are as a person, so they can exploit you, so they can get their needs met from you. A narcissist is very good at manipulating those around the narcissist into believing they are the problem, so the narcissist can escape exposure as being the problem, as being the very person that's causing your problems. One surefire way to spot a narcissist is to say no and see how they react. Narcissists don't take too kindly to the word no, as they feel entitlement. They have that sense of entitlement, and as they lack the empathy to care for those around them, they will go all out to change people's no into a yes to suit the narcissist. With a narcissist, you say no. They take this as a challenge, they take this as a game. They come at you with many manipulative methods such as triangulation, devaluation, the word salad, gaslighting, claiming they're only joking, claiming they don't want to argue with you, claiming you're being too sensitive. To get you to question yourself that much, you wonder whether your no was the right response. You say yes, they step over that last no, and then they come at you again and again and again until you lose your values, you lose your belief, you lose a sense of who you are as a person, you lose your boundaries. But they do it so slowly and so subtly, you don't realise what they're doing until your boundaries are no more. And with a narcissist, as they like to chip away at you, as they like to bait you, as they like to use your weaknesses, your strengths, your insecurities, your biggest dreams, the things that you care for the most, the things that you are passionate about, the people you care for the most, as they use everything that is of value to you against you, and they chip away at you until you react to them. They cause intrigue, they cause anger, they cause frustration, they cause resentment. And even the best of people with the best of intentions have their limits. And a narcissist will push you to those limits, and then they will take you past those limits until you react to them. And then once you've reacted to the narcissist, that's all the narcissist needs, to stand back and call you crazy. And as you are aware that your reactions are in the wrong, you start to doubt and blame yourself, and then you work harder to please the narcissist for the things that the narcissist is actually doing to you. They blame shift everything that's going wrong within the relationship. They manipulate you into taking 100% of the blame. And sometimes we have to take a step back. Yes, we do have to be responsible for our own behaviour. However, we are not responsible for other people's. We have to pass responsibility back to the rightful owner for theirs. You can get a relationship where both parties are blaming everything on each other, usually both on the narcissistic spectrum somewhere. You can get a relationship where neither party will take the blame for anything, again, usually on the narcissistic spectrum. You will get a relationship where one person takes the blame for everything, the person who's trying to make it work, and the other person who takes the blame for nothing, the narcissist who's gaslighting, blame shifting, denying and lying. And then there's healthy relationships where it's give and take, where people recognise each other's mistakes, recognise each other's weaknesses, recognise each other's strengths, try to build each other up, take responsibility for their own behaviour and try and help each other through life rather than trying to hinder each other through life. Narcissistic people want to stop you in your tracks. They want to bring you down to build themselves up. So one thing you need to establish so that people can no longer take you down and in one way use you against yourself to get their needs met is re-establish your boundaries, re-establish your personal beliefs. And it does take time to learn what your personal beliefs are, to learn what your morals are, what your values are. One of the quickest ways to do this is if you wouldn't treat somebody in a way, no longer allow people to treat you in that way. No matter what they're saying to you, no matter how they're trying to manipulate you into questioning yourself, if you wouldn't treat someone in a way, you don't allow anyone to treat you in that way. If you wouldn't do something, then don't allow those people in your life who are willing to do that thing. More often than not, people can accept people for who they are, even if they wouldn't do something. And with a narcissist, this is exactly what they're looking for. They're looking for someone who's not going to judge the narcissist's actions so that they can exploit who you are as a person. Whereas we do need to judge more, and not judge to change a person, to take somebody else's down, as a narcissist would, usually because they're envious of someone. To judge that, well, that's who you are as a person, you go and live your life, it's not really sitting with me, so I'm going to go and live my life, I wish you all the best. It's not to be mean to somebody, it's to recognise that that's not the kind of person we want to be around. It's not saying there's anything wrong with that person, it's just saying that it doesn't match who we are as a person. We shouldn't have to adapt to suit somebody who wants to change our beliefs, even though we don't want to change theirs. If we're willing to accept them for who they are as a person, they should be willing to accept us for who we are as a person. So you can have that dynamic where if someone does something that's not really what you would do, but you're doing something that's not something that they would do, but they are supportive of you as you are them, then you can build on it, you can work on it, you can have that communication, that openness with each other. With a narcissist, they feel entitled. It's one rule for them and another rule for you. They can do whatever they want to do, however you have to do whatever they want you to do. You have to start saying no to things that just don't feel right to you. If by saying yes to somebody else is saying no to yourself, it needs to be a no, and you need to stick with that no, no matter how much they come at you with pity plays and guilt trips, blaming, shaming, humiliating, criticising, judging. If it doesn't feel right to you, it's a no. If they're unable or unwilling to accept your no, that is on them, not you. We don't have to be liked by everybody, and more often than not, those that don't like us are those who can't exploit us, or those who are envious of us. We don't have to pull ourselves down to make those around us feel better about themselves. Those around us we can help feel better about themselves, but we don't have to take ourselves down in the process. Those who want to pull us down to feel better about themselves have their own life that they need to go and work on. It's not our responsibility to lower our standards, to lower our values, to lower our beliefs, to make somebody else feel better about theirs. You have to say no to things that are an inconvenience to you. You have to say no to things that don't bring you inner peace. You have to say no to things that make you question who that person is. No to things that don't honour who you are as a person, and you have to stick to that no. You might have to say to somebody, I need a minute, or I need a day, just let me think about it, because once you've said no, you need to stick to that no. You need the reason within your own mind, nobody else's reason, your reason as to why you are saying no to somebody, so that you know your why. And then you need to stick to that now. And whenever you start to doubt yourself because they're trying to guilt trip you into doing what they want you to do, you need to remember why you said no and stick to your no. Because as soon as you say, oh, yeah, actually I was being, yeah, okay then, go on then, yeah. As soon as they've got one, they're going to come after another and another and another. Yes, people can change their minds. And when you're dealing with people who are willing to communicate with you as you would them, all is well and good. When you're dealing with narcissistic people who are willing to get their own needs met, changing your mind to them is just game on. And you don't have to say no to people for the sake of saying no. You don't have to say no to people because they've done something that's annoyed you. If you're co-parenting with a narcissist and they've let the children down, yes, rightfully it's going to grate you, especially when those children are upset. But if then they turn around and say, can I have them? And it's no issue to you and it's not going to impact the children in a negative way, as long as it's not going to impact the children in the negative way, shock them and say yes. The same as parents. When parents are constantly coming at you asking you to do things, when narcissistic parents don't want you to grow up and want to control your life, and they're constantly asking you to do things for them, to serve them, to make you feel obligated to taking care of them. If it doesn't fit into your life, they're a grown adult, they are your parent, they do need to take care of themselves. Whether they are guilt tripping you with, after all I've done for you, you can appreciate what they've done for you, but that doesn't mean you have to do something for them. That just shows they've only done for you so that you do for them. There isn't that give and take in the dynamic. However, if you have a narcissistic parent asking you to do something and you genuinely don't mind doing it, then shock them and say yes. If you do mind doing it, say no. Be who you are and don't fear reactions. If they want to fall silent on you, that says more about them and the fact that they cannot control you than it ever will you. Use that silence to work on who you are, to do the things that you enjoy doing, to take your mind off what they are doing. Don't feel bad for them. It's very easy to slip into the habit of feeling bad for them and wanting to reach out and help them, and that's exactly where they want you, because once they've got you feeling bad for them, they can guilt trip you to exploit you. So when you are saying no, that no needs to mean no, and it's not to be mean to somebody, it's not to be spiteful, it's not to be hurtful, it's not to be awkward, it's to be yourself so that you can spend your life around those who accept you for who you are as a person, as you accept them for who they are as a person, and walk away from those who want to exploit you for who you are as a person, because you care about them as a person. When it comes to boundaries, learn your personal values, learn your personal beliefs. We can be flexible when we get new information, when we get new data, when we can get new evidence. We can change our beliefs, we can change our values. However, that change has to come from us, for us, not to suit somebody else, but to suit who we are as a person. Your no needs to mean no, and you need to stick with your no so that people can no longer take advantage of your kindness, of your forgiveness, of your loyalty. There's no wrong in being kind, there's no wrong in being forgiving, there's no wrong in being loyal. Just don't let people take advantage of these qualities within you. I shall add the other video in the description that explains a bit more about the values side of creating your boundaries. If anyone else has any advice, please feel free to add that into the comments, as you'll never know who's reading through that it might help. Thank you very much for listening, and go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.